The gray catbird is one of the dullest birds you've never seen. It's dark gray with a black skull cap. Whoop-de-doo. Oh, sure, it has rust coloring too, under the tail, where it is too often the bird's little secret. Though you might not have seen him, the catbird is actually fairly common. The problem is that he likes woodland edges and dense underbrush where he can skulk, burrowing into thorny tangles that would daunt Brer Rabbit, hiding all those drab feathers you didn't want to see anyway, right? But here's the thing, you do want to see him. His long tail, slender silhouette, and dark colors make him look as distinguished as a male model in a tux. And the male model does offer peeks at the rust on his undertail coverts. They're brief looks, but perhaps all the more valued for that, like a fleeting whiff of lilac. The catbird is so named because he makes a mewing sound. And you won't usually be able to see that it's not a cat, but don't worry, his mew isn't going to fool many people. The point is that you can learn to recognize it easily. As for his song, he is, like mockingbirds and thrashers, a mimid. Author Pete Dunne says the gray catbird pours out a casual, careless babble consisting of whistles and squeaks mingled with notes stolen from other bird songs, as if he's simply trying out different sounds to see how they work, rarely repeating phrases. He'll sing for 10 minutes at a time, then worm his way into a new hiding spot, or sometimes, what do you know, stand out on a limb in plain sight and sing some more. Gray catbirds eat mostly insects and fruit. Here he's eating mealworms we spread on the ground. Now you stand a good chance of attracting them to your yard if you have berries. Elderberries, service berries, beauty berries, cherries, mulberries. You might have heard the expression sitting in the catbird seat. It means to be sitting pretty, maybe like a catbird sitting amid beauty berries, surveying his feast. In the woods behind our house, the local catbirds can also lunch on wild grapes and pokeberries. And the woods I just mentioned, that is a feature you want to include if at all feasible. Or if that's out of the question, then a selection of dense shrubs might make him feel safe enough to visit. Considering that gray catbirds eat insects and fruit, they don't usually stick around the colder climes in winter. The pink area of the map represents their breeding territory, and they're most common where it's dark pink. The blue area is their wintering grounds. Note that it extends up the East Coast. Missouri is decidedly not in the blue area, and yet one of the catbirds surprised us by arriving under our feeders in January of 2017. It stayed all the way until April, pecking around at seeds on the ground and eating the mealworms in a cylinder feeder we had bought from Wild Birds Unlimited. In fact, gray catbirds in winter are more common now than they were 25 years ago, at least on the 38th parallel in Missouri between Kansas City and St. Louis, and probably in most of the states east of there, from Illinois through Virginia. 25 years ago in St. Louis, a winter sighting of a catbird called for documentation with photos, but not any longer. Our 2017 visitor was one of 11 gray catbirds that were reported between KC and St. Louis that winter. Apparently, gray catbirds are noticing the change in climate.